Okay, good morning, Conference 2018. Welcome back into the Hub Theatre to everybody who's here in Milton Keynes, and welcome to our digital delegates watching from wherever you are around the world. I just briefly want to give you a little run through about what this morning is going to be. We're going to be here in the room for about an hour and a half. We are going to have a little bit of a celebration. We've recently nominated some OU students to be honorary life members of the Students' Association, and so we're going to recognise them this morning by asking them to come up to the stage area here, and we'll share a little bit about their experiences and ask some of them to talk about their experiences if they would like to. Then I'll hand over to one of our colleagues who organises a club, and she's going to talk about the experience of what it is to make an OU Students Club. And VP Community will then join us and ask everybody in the room to make a pledge, and I'll let her cover that when we get to that. We'll also have a little bit of time to introduce some of the new Central Executive Committee members who have recently been elected. We have a couple of questions for them. Over the last couple of days, I know there have been a few prize draws happening, so people have been taking part in the treasure hunt and also in the plexus draw, so we'll draw the winners for that. And we'll have some closing remarks before we go to a song to finish. So for anybody who was here yesterday, we had a pop-up choir. The Harmonious Choir came and did a really wonderful session with us. There were quite a few students who joined that session, and it was a great experience. And anybody who was part of that, or indeed anybody in the audience who wants to join in, we're going to have a really special song to finish conference on. I don't know if that has happened at previous conferences before, but it's going to be how we end Conference 2018. So, without further ado, I'll go back to the nominations for Honorary Life Members. So, for those who don't know, the Students' Association is run by and for students. So we couldn't do what we do without massive contributions from OU students who are taking on volunteer roles in all sorts of different parts of our work. So from organising meetups in local communities to taking on representative roles within Central Committee governance committees, and elected roles within the Central Executive Committee, and there are just hundreds of different ways that people get involved. And HLM status is awarded to those students who have contributed and have been recognised for their contributions, usually over a long time. So I'm going to ask, first of all, for... I've got lost. I'm going to do something else first. I need to backtrack. I need to drink more of this coffee that's sitting in front of me. As well as having honorary life members, we're actually also honouring a staff member today as an honorary vice president. And I'm just looking around to make sure she's in the room. Yep, she is. Okay. So, Sally, could you stand up, please, just to let everybody know where you are? You can see a lovely photograph of Sally up here behind you, behind me. So I wanted to just tell you a little bit about Sally and who she is. Sally has been nominated as an honorary vice president after 29 years of service in the Students' Association. And Sally's role is very much a behind-the-scenes role. What she does is she looks after finance in the Students' Association, as she supports a lot of students who are volunteers in the Student Association when it comes to us putting in our claims and don't quite know what to do. But she has a much bigger role in looking after the finances within the association. So it's a very important strategic job, but it's one that's behind the scenes, and her work is often quite hidden. But those of us who have worked with Sally, students and staff at the association, have valued how much support she has given us, and just the huge effort she goes to make everybody feel at home in the association, to be welcomed, to be supported. All of her colleagues agree that she's just an absolute star. And so we'd like to call Sally up here to receive a little token of our appreciation.
I'm sorry I can't give a speech, but I'd like to say thank you very much, and I've really enjoyed being with the association, and believe it or not, I'm going to miss you all. So thank you very much.
So you'll all be pleased to know Sally has a few more weeks left, so all of your claims from conference will be dealt with, don't worry, she has that taken care of. Okay, so now I can move on to the HLMs, and the next person I would like to recognise is a woman who is sitting right at the back there, Lorraine Adams, who is currently VP Education. Lorraine has had a really long-serving volunteer experience with the association, and I'm sure many of the people here in the room know Lorraine and have worked really closely with her. Lorraine has spent 6 years on the Central Executive Committee, and she was a volunteer long before that, working in governance committees. On a very personal note, I want to say Lorraine has gotten me out of a few tricky situations in meetings with the OU, where I have been the person who's been the hothead getting angry in the room, and Lorraine has managed to bring us back down to a professional way of talking. So she has a real incredible way of dealing with people in the university, a really incredible way of putting new volunteers at their ease. And this year, I think she's done a fabulous job of being the chair of the Senate Reference Group, where many of you have met Lorraine over the last 2 years. Lorraine, would you like to come up and say a few words and receive your award?
Well, thank you for those kind words. I'd like to thank the Academy, my parents. Sorry, wrong place, wrong speech. I'm coming to the end of my long journey, 18 years with the Open University and 12 years with the association. I'm passionate about the OU and even more passionate about the Students' Association. I've enjoyed my time so much and I will really miss it. But I wish the next CEC all the best, and I'm sure they'll do a wonderful job as well. Thank you.
Okay, the next person who's receiving an award today is Alison Kingan. And just like Lorraine, Alison has given a lot of time to the association over many years. And you'll know that Alison is continuing as the VP Student Support on the Central Executive Committee over the next 2 years. For me personally, I would just like to share that Alison has an incredible breadth of knowledge about the OU and how things work there, but she also has an incredible way of supporting other volunteers and helping them to open the doors to all of those people in the university that we need to talk to. She has an incredible way of working. I have never seen anybody take such good notes in a meeting. You can be really, really assured that whatever Alison has written down on her page is exactly what was said. So she's a great resource and has been a great asset and wonderful help to me personally. But she has been recognised by a lot of other students who nominated her for this award, and she is the absolute true spirit of volunteering. Alison has really defined the role of student support and she's really made it her own. And for a while, Alison also looked after the responsibilities for equal opportunities within the Student Association, so she was really doing 2 jobs at once. And that was a challenge and one that Alison took on and did really well. So Alison, would you like to come up and accept your award?
I have to say this is an incredible honour, and thank you very much. But I believe the only reason I've been given this is because they know it's the only way they will get me where I might get my picture taken. So.
You've been tweeted.
Oh my. my God. So I'd like to thank the association and fellow volunteers and staff, because without you all, I would not be here. I've told the story before of my first conference where I was so nervous that I had to speak to somebody about my dietary requirements, and the person I was speaking to said, you need to speak to such and such a person. So I was saying, yeah, and not listening to anything they said because I was so nervous. And I thought, yeah, they said, go down the corridor and turn left. So I went across to another building, I went upstairs. So about half an hour later, I thought, I'm lost, I have to go back. So I went back to the person. I said, look, I'm really sorry, I was so nervous, I can't remember what you said. Could you direct me to this person I need to speak to again? And she said, yes. So she turned me round, and I had to walk 2 paces to the person that I was supposed to speak to. And I thought I would change things a little bit, and instead of thanking people, I'm going to blame people for putting me in this really embarrassing situation where I am really nervous still. So first of all, it's Ros Evans, who is sitting over there, who described me when she saw me at my first conference as a rabbit caught in headlights because I looked so nervous. And then thanks to also to Nick and Nicci and Ruth and Marianne, previous presidents, and Nick Morris, who have helped me grow a little bit and do a little bit more with the association and stretch me in areas that I could go to. I could not do this without them. Thank you also to the members of staff, particularly Wendy, Jess and Verity, who've been my main contacts, and particularly for Wendy when I started. She definitely calmed me down, like Nicci was saying, when I was really angry. She would just sort of calm me down and say, that's okay. So thank you very much. I will cherish this, and it's very special to me. Thank you very much.
I don't know about you, but I don't know how I'm going to get through this without a wee tear. No, okay. So the next person who I'm going to invite is Sue Goodyear. To us, you are perfect. So Sue has been nominated for her commitment to OU students and as a long-serving volunteer to the association. Sue has volunteered in so many roles, we didn't actually know what to put beside her name up there. So she's represented students on the Central Executive Committee. She's a trustee of USET, the OU Students Educational Trust. She has been an actor in our parody videos, one of which you can see the photograph of up there. And you might have also seen her recently as a studio host. So she's been working away this weekend, making conference come to life for everybody who's at home. Sue has so much energy and so much enthusiasm for OU students and the Students' Association. It's infectious. And I think she's been a great recruitment for us in the Student Association because she manages to encourage a lot of people to get more involved. Sue's incredibly compassionate and has a lot of empathy. And if I can recall my very first meeting of the Central Executive Committee, where I came along as an observer, because we invite students to come and see what happens at the leadership meetings. I don't know if Sue remembers this, but Sue sat beside me, and for 2 days Sue wrote down and passed me notes about everything that was being talked about in that room. So every time there was a CEC or a words, letters used that I didn't understand, she passed me a note to tell me what they were. And it gave me the confidence then to think that I could do something like this too. So the very personal recognition for that little bit you've played in my journey. You have such a wit and a humour. And I'm sure people have seen that over the last couple of days. And we really look forward to continuing to work with you. But please come up and say a few words.
Unaccustomed as I am to speaking, I've been told I'm only allowed to give a short speech. I didn't even know until a few moments ago that I was allowed to speak. So I've had to Google how to do a thank you speech. It says, your introduction, how pleased you are to have won. I've actually got all emotional, so result. How important is the award? It's undescribably, I'm amazed. How strong the competition was. Hey ho. Then we get to the thanks. Thank everyone who contributed in some way, and that is every single student of the OU who's emailed me, who's phoned me, who's spoken on forums. I've been elected into roles because some of you took the time to vote for me. I've seen a lot of you put yourselves forward in the sort of the scariness of thinking, can I do it? And yes, you can. Oh, have you checked your PPI? No. If you love that one, you'll love the next one. Apparently, there's paid modelling jobs. Then I've just got to tell you an amusing and interesting story. I'm an OU student like the rest of you. How amusing is that? I graduated. I never, ever thought I would. I volunteered. I've actually gone from not speaking in meetings, as people can attest to standing in front of you. And it has been with all your support. And me gobs are smacked. Thank you.
This is getting harder with every person who comes up here now. Okay, finally, I would like to invite Melanie Philpott to receive the Honorary Life Member Award. Melanie, as you will know, is somewhat of a... We didn't get that message, really sorry. As you'll know, Melanie has also had a lot of roles in the Student Association over many years. Some of you will have met Melanie at residential schools. You might have met her here at conferences in the past where she's been fundraising for USET. She is a current trustee of the association, and she has been an USET trustee in the past, as well as just generally getting everybody's attention on Twitter and supporting students every single day on social media. People who are asking questions about the university, about the association. Melanie is the first person out there. She's also very famous for her cups of tea. She is probably celebrated more for tea drinking and biscuit eating than any other student I have ever met. She is such an enthusiastic member of the Student Association. It is such an honour to ask you to come up and receive your award and to share a few words. After Melanie talks to being nominated for HLM, she's also going to stay up here and share her experience setting up a club, the OU Mate Club. So you can transition straight into that if you wish.
Okay, I might have to stop crying.
Okay. Up you come.
I have to find the right speech first. I actually wrote it all down because I find public speaking quite terrifying. Not that one, you don't want to hear that one yet. So this is very, very exciting, and I'm really pleased that I get to talk to you because I'm so passionate about volunteering with the Students' Association. Now, I've volunteered in lots of different roles over the years, and I've had some amazing experiences, excuse me, experiences I wouldn't ordinarily have had it not been for the Students' Association. The opportunities I've had, excuse me, running nose. The opportunities I've had have helped me personally, they've developed me professionally, I've made key contacts with the people in the university from attending Student Association events, and I feel that I'm part of my university. It's not just a series of call centres or just online. Look, it's real, and it's fabulous to be part of it. And of course, I've made lifelong friends. Love you, Sue. Hello. And I've had a heck of a lot of fun along the way. So if you're a delegate, whether you're online or you're in the room today, and this weekend has been your very first experience with your student union, I really hope that you've had a fantastic time, and I really hope that you're going to stay involved. There is a volunteer role that is just right for you, and it will enrich your lives in ways that you won't even realise. It's just amazing. Of course, all volunteers are supported by an amazing staff team, and I want to say thank you to you all because you're fabulous. But I want to say a special thank you to Wendy. Wendy. There are tea bags! Where did they come from? Oh my God, this is amazing. Wendy's been an amazing cheerleader to me throughout my entire volunteer journey, right from the very start. So although you've already clapped, I'd like you to clap again. Thank you, Wendy. It's an absolute massive honour to become an Honorary Life member, and I'm thrilled that I will get to stay part of the Students' Association family after I finish my qualifications, so thank you. Thank you.
We're going to give Melanie a wee minute to compose herself. Okay, so we've just nominated some new Honorary Life members, but there are quite a few others here in the room. I'm not going to ask you to come up on stage and speak, but if you would feel able and you want to, please stand up and everybody can acknowledge the service that you have made and your continued involvement. They're all going to stay. Got more tears. So you haven't just been part of the OU Student Association community, you're all now part of the HLM community, which is really thriving and growing really strong. So I know you're going to continue to be active there. Melanie, would you like to return and talk about your experiences in Make Club?
Okay, so we're going to talk about clubs. Affiliated clubs for the Students' Association. This is quite a new thing, and I'm not necessarily going to talk to you about my club. I'm going to talk to you about a new club. So clubs are a great way to connect with people who share the same interests as you, and it is really, really, really easy to set one up. So some of you may have heard now that I have a bit of a thing for biscuits. And perhaps over this course of this weekend, I've met at least 4 other people who also share my love for biscuit loveliness. And we've decided, I haven't met these 4 people yet, I'm hoping you're going to come and see me after, we're going to set up the OU Students Biscuit Appreciation Club. And I know you're all going to join. Now, 5 is the key number here. There must be at least 5 people to start an affiliated club. And what we're going to do, when you come to me, and we're going to start setting this up, we're going to look at the webpage, the oustudents.com/clubs, and we're going to check out the guidelines and the code of conduct, because biscuit appreciation could get quite rowdy. And messy, maybe. Then we'll suss out how we're going to communicate with each other, and maybe we'll set up a Facebook group, because that's super easy. And after that, we'll fill in an online form and wait for approval. And that really is it. It's that easy. Once we've been approved, please approve our club, whoever it is that approves clubs. We will have our information on the association website, and we will get offered a forum in the association forum space. Is that what it's called? The forum space? Somewhere online. You can have a forum if you like. And the great thing about being an affiliated club is the free publicity you get. And we are students and we love free, right? So you get loads of publicity. Now, here's a shameless plug. Last July, I had an idea for a club, and together Steph, wherever Steph is, and Colin is somewhere over there, Colin over there, we set up the OU Make Club. And as of silly o'clock this morning, we have 224 members. That's over 200 people with the same interests, chatting and connecting with each other. And I'm kind of excited about that, and actually a little bit proud of it too. So there are several clubs already set up. There's Language Club, walking club, dyslexia club, the carers club. There's the reading nook, and I'm going to look up that one after conference. And new ones pop up every week. So there's a full list on the website, so do take a look. And maybe you'd like to create a club, or maybe you'd just like to join a club. But I'm going to hand over to Steph, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about the pledge drive. Steph, would you like to take the floor? Oh, I forgot my things.
Oh, no. I don't know.
Can you sort the microphone?
I can project my voice. I'm so quiet and retiring. So quiet. Yeah. Why, thank you. Can you hear me? Yes. I'll just keep going like this. Clubs are doing really well so far. I really hope that you want to get more involved. On your chairs, you should have found one of these, which is a pledge card. And on the back, it gives you an opportunity to tick some boxes, which is to join an OU Students Association club. Nope. Have they not been put out? I have the only card. Who wants it? So we will be handing out. Have we got them here? At the community stand. Right, start again. At the community stand, you will find a card like this, maybe more. And on the back, it's got tick boxes. One is to join an OU Students Association club. One is to create an OU Students Association club. And then the other one is to GDP, whatever it is. GDPR. That's it. I knew it was something important. To let us know that we can have your email address so that we can contact you about your pledge. Please talk to other OU students. If you're unsure about actually creating a club, you might find someone who's got a similar interest and might give you the confidence or might even take the opportunity to set the club up that you can join. But please take a look at the pledge card and please join in with this. Year before, we had pledges and we signed up for different things. I actually had done most of the things on the pledge card, so I wrote one extra one at the bottom, which was to create a business society, which I actually did. I'm really proud of it. So make yourselves proud and do one of these pledges. I also want to take the opportunity to let you know about a new volunteering opportunity. So some people in the might have actually seen us this morning in a volunteering workshop where we discussed student-led projects. Now, through student consultation, we've heard back from students that they wanted an opportunity to get involved at face-to-face volunteering, but unfortunately, not everybody lives around Milton Keynes. And although online is good that we can connect in those sort of ways, they wanted an opportunity to do something that made them feel like it was more worthwhile and a cause and something that they could bring in to their own community. And we also, with the volunteering team, I attended a conference hosted by the NUS, and it was about volunteering. We mixed with other universities, shared ideas and best practice, and it was such a good idea in one of the workshops that we went into about the student-led projects. We asked students whether they were interested. This might be that you'd want to do something to support people in your community. You might already be interested in something that is a worthwhile cause. You might have an idea that you want to discuss further. The idea is that you look at one of these cards, look at the steps, put your ideas forward, and we can help and support you from there with funding, with promotion, with helping to set a project up yourself. So if you've got any ideas, please come to us. Thank you.
Okay, so everybody in the audience, what we're going to do over the next 5 minutes, this wasn't in the schedule, but what we're going to do right now is I'm going to take hands in the air for suggestions of clubs and student projects that you yourself are going to get involved in and that you have an idea for. I also saw Peter had an idea flash across his face because it had a little glimmer light up his eyes when Steph was talking about student-led projects. So I think we might have a microphone. If we don't have a microphone, you can say what your idea is and I'll repeat it. Do we have one there, Rob? Yep. So Peter first, then Melanie. Just since we don't have the postcards on your seats, you know.
I'm very sorry, but that was just a glimmer.
Are you going to start up the Glimmering Club then?
I'll have a think about that. Yeah,
Great.
yeah, yeah.
Melanie?
I'm hoping to start a biscuit appreciation club.
Okay, are there any takers for the Biscuit Appreciation Club? Okay, there you go. There's several members already. Okay, anybody else who would like to start a club? Okay, just here in the red shirt.
Yeah, I think I have two in mind. Anyway, I'll start off with one. I want to start off with a Unity and Diversity Club, and I want to start off Left-Handed Club. Those are right, left hand.
Okay, both hands in the air for those two clubs. Absolutely.
Sorry, the reason why I said left-handed, because when I was growing up in Africa, if you write with left-handed, your teacher will beat you. So I was beaten mercilessly. So I have to change to right hand. So because I was writing with left, so I don't, because my culture condemn writing with the left. So.
And now you want to celebrate the left hand.
So I want to celebrate it. So absolutely. I can write with both hands now. So.
Was there another hand in the air here? Yeah.
Oh, hello. I'm thinking of establishing an engineering club. So budding engineers, do get in touch.
Any budding engineers here? Oh, yeah. There's a few hands in the air. Absolutely.
We've got at least 5, so yeah, I'm okay.
There's definitely 5 hands up. Okay. Back here in the back section in the blue T-shirt, behind the barrier, Rob.
Hello, I'm Maureen. I'd like to start a photography club. If anybody's interested in photography club, then please let me know.
Where's Colin? Colin, one of our budding photographers here. Yep. Lots of hands in the air. Just behind you, Rob.
Hi, I'm Verity. I would like to maybe set up a OU Netflix appreciation.
Oh. That sounds like a good idea. Here, Beth?
I came to the conference because I'm passionate, partly because I'm passionate about Asperger's. So in the volunteering group this morning, I put forward the idea of an Aspie hub, that we could start in a location and find a community, not just the OU community, but put it out into the community at wide.
That sounds like it's touching more into the student-led projects idea that Steph was talking about. Yeah, and I'm seeing lots of nods again around the room for interest in that. Hands in the air for that one. Yep, look at that.
Hi, I'm Linda. I'd like to start a sports club so we can challenge other unis and show them we're better than them.
Any particular sport, Linda, or just sport in general? Discus? Tennis? Any tennis players in the room? Do we have any tennis players? Yep. There's 5 hands have gone up already. Okay, what about this back corner? I haven't heard much from you guys. Come on, don't be shy.
Hiya, I'm Cass. I'd be interested in setting up a rugby club. Yes.
A few rugby players in the association staff team, so I'm quite excited about that one. Any other rugby players here? Yeah, a few hands up. Okay, Patricia's hand was up down here. Just for the record, this is all on camera, so you're not getting out of it.
I want to start up a public speaking club to build on the workshop from yesterday.
Yep, lots of nods there. Did anybody go to the workshop yesterday on public speaking? Yep. So would you be interested in joining a public speaking club? Absolutely, there we go. Amy, is yours a new club idea? Have you got a club idea?
Thinking about a debate club.
Ooh, that sounds good. Interesting oohs. We haven't had an ooh yet. Now, hands up that I've missed. Who have I missed? Here?
Hi, I'm Carol. I'm thinking about starting up a wine appreciation society.
Is that wine appreciation? Oh. Over here, Anka.
Hello, I'm Anka. I was thinking of setting up the OU Procrastination Club at some point.
That sounds like a very popular club. Over at this side?
I'd like to set up a student strollers club, not a walking club. People who like to go out for 15 minutes after work and know little places all over the country. And we can post them on Facebook.
We have just set up, I have just set up this month, a walking club that is for everybody, and it includes strollers. I can see, where's Mikhail? Is Mikhail here? Mikhail's one of our self-confessed strollers sitting right in front of you. So I think that club is there, and please come and join us, and we will join forces on that one. There was a hand up right up at the back row here.
Right, let's have a guess what my club's going to be. It's a clubbing club. So wherever you are in the country, we share the knowledge of clubs, how to get up at 5 when you've just come back, and how to have the perfect hangover cure.
How many people had a perfect hangover cure this morning? Did anybody find the perfect hangover cure? No, that club's needed, definitely. Okay, any more? Danielle? We'll wrap this up in the next couple of minutes and move on.
Hi, I'm Danielle. This is totally not my idea, so I'm not taking the credit for it, but I've heard it mentioned on campus. So I'd like to say to the student that suggested it, I'm totally down for it, so I'm going to be one of you 5. Disney Club.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll join that one as well. Okay, Peter, you have an idea? Sorry, Rob, we're really making you work this morning.
Sorry, it took a while for that glimmer to eventually emerge, didn't it? I'm going to have to check with myself to see whether this is legal, but if it is... an OU Students Flash Choir Club.
A flash choir? Can you elaborate on that?
So I'll tweet where I'm going to be and the time and place, and we'll turn up and sing.
Wow. First flash choir meeting today. Yeah. Okay, there's another hand up here at the back. So glad we decided to do this.
Yeah, hi, this one's not actually for me, it's for the new president-elect. A Daffy Duck appreciation club.
We're going to talk about the duck costume in a wee minute or two. Claire?
Well, I'm a bit of a horror fan, like, you know, movies and novels, and I do special effects makeup as a hobby, so I was thinking maybe starting an OU horror club, possibly.
Excellent. Are there any horror fans in the room? Yeah. Oh wow. That surprised me. There's a lot more horror fans than I thought there would be. There you go. You've definitely got a club. Over here?
I was just debating the idea of a OU science fiction and fantasy club.
Absolutely, yeah, I'm joining that one. I think the science fiction fantasy people might have just beaten the horror people there in terms of interest, but we could get a wee bit of rivalry going on. Okay, one more right in the middle, the back there. So this is the last club suggestion for today. Make it a really good one.
I was thinking of indoor climbing because I noticed there was the mountaineering.
Yeah, that's right.
Society.
Indoor climbing is the fastest growing sport, I believe, in the UK. Are there indoor climbers here?
I do it. Did you guess? But it's really hard to find someone to do it with you if you don't know other people that like it. So I think, yeah.
Can I see those hands that went up again? Yeah, everybody turn around and look at each other. Yeah. There you go. Make sure you catch up with each other after this.
There's 4, so it'd work.
Excellent. Okay, let's move on. I have to go back and get my notes, get my business head back on here, but thank you. Yeah, so the next part of today's agenda is actually to bring up some of the incoming Central Executive Committee members. So I'd like to invite them all to, there's 4 of them coming onto the stage here of the new team coming in, and I'd invite them to come and take a seat beside me. So first of all, Cass, our President-elect. Fanny, VP Media and Campaigns, elect. Billy, Arts and Social Sciences faculty rep. Thank you, Billy. And Kat, VP Community elect, who is busy taking all these ideas of clubs. Okay, so my first question has to be for Kath. Why are you wearing a yellow duck costume?
The immediate reason is I'm raising money for USET, the OU Students Educational Trust. It started when I was procrastinating from revision and wasting time on social media, and it occurred to me when stone cold sober to ask in the big OU group with 19,000 students whether people would fund me if I dressed up as a duck for conference. Unfortunately, people noticed the post and said yes, and, and I was kind of committed to it then. So I think we're up over around £800 at the moment via my Just Giving page.
So yeah, 800 points, that's quite an achievement, and that's still money coming in?
There is,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I have a collecting box over there if anyone wishes to add to it. Yeah.
Okay, so when we get to the really serious questions, we might have to ask our supporters to just silence the quacks a little tiny bit. Okay, now I have to pick a different question because the one immediately following this is far too serious, so let's jump. Kat, this is your first conference?
It is, yeah.
Can you tell us what your highlight of conference has been?
So for me, and I think this is probably shared by a lot of people in this room, the highlight has been meeting everybody and meeting all these new people. The buzz across the weekend has been fantastic, and it's just been made me so excited to come in this role.
And what were you expecting to find at conference?
I think I came expecting a lot of friendly people and a lot of people that are very proud to be OU students, and I think we're going to walk away from here even prouder. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we all agree with that? We're all proud OU students? Fanny, what made you stand for election?
Yeah, I'm quite right. So I always knew I wanted to be involved no matter what university I went into, because when I was in further education, I was quite involved. So it was one of the, when I looked at different universities, it was one of the main priorities for me to have a students' association or students' union that's working. And specifically to media and campaigns I stood, because when I started getting involved, any meeting I went to, it was like, oh, well, we can't reach enough students, we can't communicate well enough. So over time, I've sort of plotted down all the ideas that I've heard from other people and that I thought about.
Can I share something that I know about you? About what you did before you even enrolled for the OU?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first time I met Fanny, she told me that the first thing she did when she was looking for a university was to look at the Student Association to see what activities the Student Association were doing. And if we hadn't have been meeting her requirements, she wouldn't have registered for the OU. And that was such an enormous relief for me to hear that we were doing the right things, but also absolutely wonderful. Fanny, you have talked quite a lot about being a full-time student and being a younger student as well. Do you want to share any of the ideas that you have around working with younger people?
So I would like to make possibly a club. Oh, I should have put my hand up for it. Okay. I forgot about that. So first, on the first point, I've actually spoken to Danielle back last year in July because she had a CCR, a Central Committee representative role, put up on her profile. And I never realised that it was her until January, until I met her for the first time. So supporting young students, well, obviously the demographics are getting a lot younger than they used to be. And I feel like younger students are not really stepping forward, so I would like to have a support club for young students, and obviously raising it with the university whenever I can, that I've been doing since October, since I've been involved.
Fanny's been really modest here. So Fanny came to Senate, which is the academic governing body of the university, last week, and she actually raised this issue on the floor of Senate, where she talked about how the university isn't doing enough to support and encourage younger students to come to the Open University. So although students are getting younger for the Open University, they're not actively seeking them out. And I think she did a great job of really calling out the OU on that this week. So don't be modest with what you've been doing. Now, Billy, faculty representation. What are you most looking forward to now that you've been elected?
I think the important thing is the conversations that's going to happen. There's a chance to actually get out there and meet students, take on board what they're saying, picking up conversations. We know this last while has been a bit tough. There's been loads of things happening, but I think we need to go back to being students and take the conversation back there. So actually meeting the people that I'm representing, but also working right across university, across all faculties, I think is really important. But as I say, for me, I said that in my manifesto, is I really believe in community. So I want to start a new conversation, taking us back to being students and then taking us forward again.
So it's about a two-way conversation,
Yes.
and you're the middle person between students and
CEO,
people in the university making decisions?
Yeah, all the reps. Part of my role, obviously, is to be that bridge between students and the university. So what I have to do over the next couple of months is listen and learn. I need to listen to what's been said and learn how to take that forward.
Listen and learn, that's a new motto. Yeah, I like that one. Okay, Cass, now that you've had time to compose yourself from that very happy, joyful first question, we have been asking students over the weekend, and you heard us ask Mary, one thing about the OU that makes us mad, sad or glad. But can you share your mad, sad or glad things with us?
What makes me mad is when they don't listen to student needs. Need I mention the word online delivery here? Sad is one of the things that's not the OU's fault in any respect whatsoever. It's that the external funding environment means that we don't have so many students, and as a consequence, the curriculum is being reduced a little bit. And I think that probably makes all of us sad. For me, it's meaning that there's a couple of courses I'm particularly keen on and they're going, which always seems a bit of a shame, doesn't it? And glad, well, I think I look at everybody in this room, I hear all of the stories from people saying they didn't believe they could graduate, as Sue did earlier, people saying that they never had any confidence in themselves, and I see how much it's changed. I think, isn't that wonderful?
Just to follow up on your sad moment, I think that was also Mary's sad moment, wasn't it?
I think it was.
So the fact that you have something in common already with the acting Vice-Chancellor, can you talk a little bit about partnership and what a good partnership would look like to you?
What I'd like to see when the Students' Association are working with the university is that we are genuinely regarded as equal partners, that it's not a question of tick box, oh look, we've got a student in the room, we've consulted them. It's a question that our input is valued, that we're regarded as full team members, that we are contributing uniquely, and that the student perspective is seen as really, really adding something. I think there are some great examples out there of parts of the university working with students like that, and I'd like to see that happening across the board.
And that's something that you've experienced as a STEM faculty rep?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, I've found, and I've been fortunate that because of previous experience with societies, I already had quite a lot of good contacts with some parts of the STEM faculty, and with some of them, they very, very much do welcome that student input. And so I've seen how good it can be when it's right.
Kat, I'm going to come to you again. I'm going to ask you a question around challenges that OU students face and what support a good community can help. You know, how can a good community help students who are facing challenges?
I mean, I feel like just firstly knowing the community is there, and I think this weekend has been a good kind of point in a lot of for a lot of students to find out that there's things like clubs, there's things like societies, and there are people that are there to help. And so, you know, getting the word out about the community is something that, and continuing that throughout the academic year and, you know, throughout the holidays as well.
Could I just ask the audience, only if you feel comfortable, was there anybody who came to the conference for the first time who didn't really feel that there was much of a community for OU students, and they were quite surprised by how much there was? Because I felt like that the first time I came to conference in 2012. Yeah. So there's a whole range of people, obviously, who don't know that there's a community for them.
Yeah, exactly. And I hope people are going to go away feeling like that they now know about this community and spread the word about the community.
And that they're part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fanny, I have a question for you about what you think makes the Open University Students Association unique. Because obviously it was part of your thinking to come to the OU in the first place. So what makes us unique?
That we do, well, effectively we do everything distance learning. We are not volunteering here. All the volunteers who are involved, all the students who are involved need to find all these different ways. And obviously, wait, I lost my word there. Yeah, so but we all come from all of these different backgrounds, and for some people to make it even to this conference, I thought I knew how diverse and how different we all were and how we could all come together as a community. Like last year, if you told me that, you know, Steph, who's one of my very good friends now, that I would have, I don't know if I'm allowed to say her age, but she's 2.5 times my age. And I never thought
Same as me.
Yeah. So I never thought I could be, you know, part of this really big community. And I'm really pleased I am.
I found that too when I started with the OU. You know, I don't think you're unique in that way. Because the Open University has such a diverse student body, and getting involved with the Student Association, you do meet people that you wouldn't have met otherwise in your day-to-day life. And that's been one of the wonderful experiences for me too.
And I share an experience.
Yeah, shared experience and finding common ground that you didn't know was there before. I'm seeing a lot of people around the room who are
I want
nodding.
to give you an example.
Go ahead, yeah, please.
Okay. So the first time I did a group activity sort of thing was Revision weekend, and I went up to the bar about 10 minutes after I'd arrived, and there was quite a few people. There was Barbara, Peter, there was quite a few people sat there, and I felt really weird sitting down there because the way they were talking about the association and the amount of knowledge everyone had, I thought that they were the senior leadership team of the university. So then the next morning realised that they were part of the volunteering team and that they've gone through the same path that I'm now trying to follow, and that was...
So first perceptions aren't always the right ones, are they? Yeah, that's a nice experience to hear about. Okay, I have a really big question to finish on. It's for Kath. And you have a few minutes, so take your time. What do you want to be the main focus of the Students' Association for the next 2 years?
I don't think I can talk about one single focus. Our activities cover many strands, and so they should. We have the great work that we do within community, I know Kat will take forward. We have all the student support work that Alison and Cherry will be leading on. We have our student voice work, which I'm leaving to last, not because I think it's the least important, but for me, probably that's one where I personally am particularly keen for us to develop where we are, to get that right within the heart of the university. This ties in with the question Nicci asked me earlier about the partnerships.
Can you explain, Kath, for people who might not have heard that term before, student voice, what does that mean to you?
That's one of those slightly ambiguous terms, isn't it? But I think it probably means many things, and I'm going to say, Sam in the audience, you're probably going to jump at me if I say this wrong now. Yes. I think it's taking forward the student viewpoint, the student opinions, the student thoughts and needs into every aspect of our education. It is our university, and we would like them to remember that.
trying to see if Sam can give us the thumbs up. Does she like that answer there? Yeah, both thumbs up there, so absolutely. So just for those who don't know, Sam's a member of the staff team in the Student Association. She's the head of Student Voice. And I just want to take this chance actually to say Sam has been an incredibly supportive person to me, has a wealth of knowledge, and I couldn't have got through some of the meetings I've done this year without Sam. So I can't see your blushes, but I can see you're blowing me kisses, so that's nice. Kath, do you think it's a big challenge?
Yes.
What's going to be the most challenging thing?
Ooh, I suspect I may not know that until I start, to be absolutely honest. I think anyone in this role inevitably is going to have a really, really steep learning curve. I mean, I do feel very fortunate that obviously I've got you to talk to, other past presidents like Ruth as well, who said that they're very happy to talk to me about everything, and that I've got a fantastic team that I'm working with. So it's all going to be a challenge, trying to do things like transition from my current role to the new one and make sure that my priorities aren't just STEM anymore, seeing things on a broader scale. The fact that as incoming president, I guess anything I say can be taken as Student Association policy, so I have to be very careful and not go around quacking around the place in case I'm misinterpreted. But just getting to grips with everything. But as I said, I suspect that I'll discover the real big challenge once I actually start. But I'm looking forward to the sort of support I'm sure I'll be getting in dealing with those.
Absolutely. And if there was one thing you would like to say to everybody today who's here, maybe people who are hearing about the Student Association for the first time, what would you like them to take away?
First of all, thank you for coming. Thank you for getting involved. And secondly, please, please keep talking to us. Mel mentioned earlier, there will be a role that would be right for most people and will be incredibly fulfilling, even if you don't want to take on a formal role. Talk to us if there's an issue, talk to us if there's something good. We have forums, you'll see us around on social media. Please, please keep being in touch. We can't do it without you.
Absolutely, totally agree. Thank you to our 4 panellists. Can I invite the entire incoming team up here so that we can take a group picture? Thank you. Stand up. So, Central Executive Committee and Board of Trustees. Thank you very much for our 4 incoming CEC members for coming to speak. Kath, I don't know how you're coping with that costume on in this very, very, very warm room, but it looked like that was a big relief to take the hat off. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is I would like to welcome Graham Rimmer to come down here. Plexus, our LGBT support group, have been doing a raffle over the course of the weekend, and we're going to draw the winners just now. Verity, would you like to come and help? I think we'd like Verity to come up here too.
Yes, we've got a fragile chair of Plexus this morning.
So I'll pick him.
Okay. I'm doing nothing, I'm just holding a bucket.
You're going to read out.
I'm just going to stand
and
and
So you're going to read out the names.
I'm reading out the names. I better read my own.
It's numbers.
Oh, it's numbers.
Have you not got the names on the back?
I have.
Oh.
All right, this is first winner, the lucky number 41, Zana Saunders.
So if Zana, can you just give us a wave, but you don't need to come down. Just give us a wave.
Well done, Zana.
So make sure that you come and see us afterwards and we can arrange the prize.
Oh, you're reading?
I'm reading,
Oh, okay. Right, 4. And then we've got an online delegate one as well.
Nice. All right, lucky number 50, Grace Lolly. Grace? No?
Might not be here, so we'll hold that.
Yeah,
We'll let her know online.
Yeah. Well done, Grace. Yep, lucky number 53, Maureen Windbright. Yay, Maureen! Well done.
Oh, it's on Tuesday.
Is it me?
It's not Faraday, no.
Oh. Fix. All right, lucky number 48, Christopher Whitten? Christopher Whitten? Or it could be Willow. But I think it's Whitten. Christopher, either way. It's definitely Christopher. Christopher? No. We'll do that online.
No, is Sheila in the room? Or she gone home?
Sheila's not.
Oh, okay, just basically we'll say thanks for Sheila making them.
Yes, Sheila made them and they are actually amazing. So congratulations to all the winners. They are very, very special.
Come and see us at the end.
Yeah.
See you later. Come on, Joan.
Okay, the next draw that we have to do is the treasure map. Did people participate in this treasure map hunt thing? Yeah. Oh, it was too hard, Melanie, was it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Beth, do you want to bring that over? Cass, do you want to volunteer to pick the names out? Okay, so we need 3 winners here.
Okay, here's our first one.
Rahima? Excellent. So you can see us afterwards. Sula O'Duffy. Hi. Well done.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Waggett. Yay. So Melanie has given you a really good round of applause there because she thought it was all really hard. So well done to everybody who managed to complete that, and we can arrange your prizes afterwards. Okay, so we're right on schedule. This almost never happens to me. That's quite amazing. So I want to take the chance to share some closing remarks about conference and to share a few thank yous for people who have contributed a lot to make this weekend happen. And then we'll move on and I'll hand over to Peter, who is going to lead us in song. So I came to conference for 2012 for the first time, and it was my introduction really to the Students' Association. And just up there at this side of the conference was where I sat, just right against the wall, and I didn't for a million years imagine that one day I would be standing up here being Student Association President. It has been an incredibly overwhelming journey to get here for me. I just want to very briefly share a little bit about myself and my story, because it goes a long way to thanking the people who've supported me. When I first came in 2012, at that point in my life I wasn't in work and I was quite ill. I have a medical condition that kept me at home and I was really isolated. And the Student Association allowed me to get out and meet people that I just hadn't been doing. At that point, I didn't think I'd ever have a career. I probably didn't think I'd ever have a job again. I was doubtful as to whether or not I would actually finish my degree because I'd been trying to do it for such a long time. And coming to that first conference gave me a spark to get more involved. So I'm saying that now because there might be people sitting in this room now who in 2 years or 4 years or in 6 years' time could be the person who's standing up here delivering this speech. Because the Student Association gives you so much if you give a little bit to it. It's so rewarding. And the people who have helped me to get to this stage are people who are in this room, other students, staff members in the Student Association. And I particularly want to thank Rob and Wendy, who have been incredibly supportive to me over the last 2 years in particular. They're two people who give so much to the Students' Association, and a lot of people don't know just the lengths that they go to. Rob, in particular, personally, would be the first person to phone me and say, "Is everything okay? How are you doing? Have you any issues?" And that kind of personal support is such a big part of the role that staff play here. And all the volunteers will agree that we have those really special relationships with staff team. So I'd just like everybody here to take a moment to thank our staff team for what they do for the Students' Association, for reps, and ultimately for OU students. They are as passionate about OU students as we are as reps, and it's really important that they're recognised for that. So thank you so much. There's a member of staff here today, Amy. Where's Amy? Amy. She's trying to hide in the corner. So Amy Ferguson, our conference project manager, has been with the association for a short time. And Amy's role has been to coordinate all of the staff conference teams, to support the conference steering committee and turn our sometimes very wacky and weird ideas into something really workable. And I think Amy has done an absolutely wonderful job of putting the conference together and of supporting all of the staff to make this what it is today. So Amy is the glue that has held this whole operation together. And she works absolutely diligently. She solves every problem that you can possibly think of. There's no task that is too big or too small for Amy to look and support us with. She's been a really good negotiator all of the way through conference. This event takes so much planning to happen. There's conversations that are happening with people across the university, arranging keynote speakers to come here, supporting volunteers. It's a phenomenal amount of work, and I would just like to call Amy up here. We have a short gift, a small gift, as a token of our appreciation for everything that you have done.
Just really quickly, thank you so much, but it really is the help of the staff and all the students that make it worth it and put all their effort into it, so thank you so much.
I imagined you were going to say something like that, so modest as ever. Conference Steering Committee. Conference Steering Committee is a group of students who get together and set the agenda and the ideas and decide what's going to happen here at conference. Can I see, if they're able to or willing to, can I see Conference Steering Committee raise their hands and let people know who they are?
Can we just check that they've had a good time before we raise?
Have Conference Steering Committee had a good time? So for us, it started back in January. So we're a group of students who are made up of people who are currently on the Central Executive Committee and students from the wider student body who saw the role advertised and applied for the opportunity to come here. Malik is welling up over here. I haven't even said anything too emotional yet, and Malika's tears are starting to flow. Conference Steering Committee has just been an absolute joy for me to work on. It's been a real highlight of my time in the association. We all know how important conference is and what difference this makes to students. So we really do love getting involved. But the members of that committee have put in so many hours of discussions as well, deciding very things like, you know, should we have a treasure hunt? You know, things like that, they don't come out of the air. They're ideas that students have, they get discussed and we take those forward. To much bigger things like setting the agenda, creating the documents for the motions and the amendments yesterday. Largely that work was undertaken by Peter. So there's a phenomenal amount of work that they put in, and I would really like people to show their appreciation for the volunteers on that committee. OU staff, where are they? There's some of them over here. So there's a lot of Open University staff who support us. So all of our technicians who make the sound happen, the people who are up here waving at us, making sure that the technology is working. The catering team, who, by the way, opened the bar especially for us. You know, all of the people who make this happen, the people who set up the rooms, who do all this phenomenal work, we have to recognise their role as well, and so we would extend our thanks to the Open University. I think, let me just check my list and make sure I've got everybody. So, OU, keynote speakers. I'm sure everybody agrees. Mary Kellett yesterday morning and Mary Kernick-Cook were absolutely inspirational, and it was so wonderful to have the opportunity to ask questions of Mary. And when I talked to her initially about this and what it would look like, the first thing she told me was, I don't want to stand up here and talk and do a big PowerPoint presentation. I want to hear what students are thinking and give them the chance to speak. And I think that really came across yesterday. We probably could have spent hours with both of them, and sadly there just isn't enough time in the day to do all of that. So thank you very much to the two Marys, as we called them yesterday, for joining us, and I'll give them a round of applause. We also had 80 volunteers here as conference delegates. So conference delegates received a request to join and help make conference happen. So out of all of the delegates, there are 80 people who helped out in various ways over the weekend. So we had conference makers, like meet and greet, we had business champions, and a whole host of roles. So everybody who took part in some way as a conference volunteer, can you raise your hand or give an indication of what you did? Excellent. So big round of applause for everybody's contribution. And finally, I want to thank the delegates to conference because you have made it absolutely an amazing weekend. And so that goes to the delegates who are here in Milton Keynes and to those people who are online as our digital delegates. It isn't conference without students, and we're just overjoyed and overwhelmed by the positive feedback that we've already had. And I really hope people take that positivity away from here and go home with it and remember it when you're having those horrible moments and you think, I can't do this, just like Mary was talking about yesterday. Remember that there's hundreds of other OU students that feel exactly the same as you do, and you can do it. So that's my take-home request from everybody in this room. And that's really all I want to say at this point. I can see Peter is getting set up. I want to introduce Peter. Peter Bell is one of our trustees, and he came to Conference Steering Committee with an idea.
Do that, we have got one more thank you that we want to make sure as well. So, conference, can we just recognise Nicci Simpson as president, please? Can you give her a massive round of applause? So, conference, as I'm sure many of you know, Nicci has been an absolutely fantastic president. She has worked tirelessly and selflessly on behalf of the association and on behalf of all of you as OU students everywhere. This has been a really, really difficult term. Many of the other members of the Central Executive Committee will tell you that. They have not had an easy experience all the way through. There has been lots of difficulties to fight their way through. Nicci has been a sterling leader all the way through that. She took on the role in really difficult circumstances. She dealt with all the challenges she needed to take forward, and she's done all the amazing things that we celebrated yesterday, that you saw in the video, that we've heard about today as well. So she's been absolutely fantastic on all of those fronts. Nicci is very good at giving praise and credit to others, and sometimes less so to accept it herself, in terms of what she's actually capable of, and what she's done and how she's grown in this role during the last 12 months and beyond. She's going to be hugely missed by everyone that's come into contact with her in the role. As we move forward, it's going to be really exciting times, and all the other things, but we're also going to miss those that we lose, those who come towards the end of their terms. So a thank you also to those people as well. But thank you, Nicci, for all that you've done, and we wish you all the very best for what you go on to do next. And we've got a little gift to say thank you.
Rob's made me a wee bit emotional now, so I'm going to find it hard to do the next bit that I was going to do. So I'll go back to where I was. So I was just about to introduce Peter. Peter Bell is a trustee in the Student Association, and some of us were here yesterday as we did the pop-up choir activity. Peter came to steering committee and made a suggestion that a choir that he's a member of and works with called Harmonious, which has been established now for just a few months. It's a community choir bringing people together. He suggested that we could have a pop-up choir here at conference and actually create our own version, an OU students pop-up choir. And you kind of, what I planned to do was actually invite the CEC up on stage, the current CEC, and then I was going to give my thanks to the CEC. And I was being a wee bit cheeky. I was going to try and invite them up on stage and then have them stay on stage so that they would be part of the singing experience. Because what Peter really needs is some people to demonstrate to everybody else here just how this next exercise would work. So while our current CEC hopefully are willing to come up here, I can share my thanks for what they have done, just as you're assembling. I'm not seeing a lot of movement.
This is supposed to be a therapeutic, fun event. So only if you're happy to come up here, you don't have to join us.
Board of Trustees are also welcome to join us. And Peter, can I just say a few words then before we go into your piece? So Rob's already said, and people here know, this team of people behind me have had a really difficult task over the last 2 years. The university has created this massive change programme that has absolutely changed how we need to work, and we have had to work at such a pace. So of all the people here standing behind me, every one of them has put in a phenomenal amount of hours, attending meetings, representing student views on really, really difficult issues. And one of the challenging things about it for us is that it's very, very hard to share with the student body quite what that's like and quite what those experiences are like. It's a hugely committed role that people take on, and they have to do a lot of this without being able to talk to the wider student body about what feedback they're given to the university, because the university expects us to maintain a certain level of confidentiality about what we're discussing. And the reality of that is it's quite a harsh personal reality. It has consequences for students not being able to fully engage in all of those processes, but it also has consequences for us because it means that people don't know what this team have achieved. And I can never tell you what this team have achieved. I can never tell you the type of ideas that the university were proposing 2 years ago and a year ago when the transformation was first coming into being. But every single one of these people up here has had conversations that have absolutely changed what has happened in the university. And if people in the audience think that the ideas that are being proposed now aren't to our liking, if you heard what they were a year ago, you would have been absolutely terrified. And that's really, really difficult. So I just want to applaud everybody for the massive efforts that they've had in shaping those discussions, in changing things and getting us to where we are now. I really sincerely hope that Kath, coming in as president, is going to have a really positive relationship with the university. We have spent a lot of time trying to open doors over the last year, and I think finally they are open to us, and I really, really am optimistic about what can be achieved and how the Student Association can take student issues forward. I know it's going to be a really, really challenging time, Kath, for you taking everybody else forward, but I also know that the people here on the stage who aren't continuing in roles are still going to be around supporting people. I certainly had that with the previous team and other people who'd held different roles, and it'll be the same for those now who are going on and supporting the next team coming in. So please, everybody, show your absolute support and appreciation for all the massive amount of work that has gone in. I can see it written over their faces. You know, everybody's just standing here with this sense of, well, it's awe in some ways, isn't it? It's just fear that we've got to sing. Fear that they have to sing. But they really have, and made my time as I attempt to navigate through all of this all that easier. So much more easier when you have a supportive team behind you. So thank you very much to all of you from me, and thank you for everybody here. That was a little bit cheeky, wasn't it? Getting you on stage. So if you feel comfortable to stay, I can say Peter will make this a really enjoyable experience. People who took part in the pop-up choir yesterday, Peter, are we inviting them also to come and join us up here?
Yes, if you want to. There's no problem. And if you want to stay in your seats. And in fact, anybody up on the stage, if you'd be more comfortable sat down, then please. So this is, for me, it's a bit of a challenge. I joined the Open University, I think I did a first course in 1989, but I haven't been studying until about 2010. I started studying again, and I'm still studying the same course. And we'll hand the words out. Don't worry. Can we not hand them out just for a second? Because we're actually going to do some. So don't hand the words out yet, please. Wait until instructed. So what we did yesterday. What we did yesterday was we did some physical warm-up. Now, I hadn't sung in a choir until 12 weeks ago, and I've led a choir or something like this. I've only done it 9 times before, so this is the 10th time. So bear with me. What we do before we start singing is actually try and exercise our bodies a bit, just relax. So if you want to join in, what we're going to do is actually, if you want to, stand up, and we're just going to do some very gentle exercise just to start. So anybody that's going to sing, if you want to try, just stand up as we've done here. No? Yeah. Okay. And so just shake a leg, shake another leg. Yeah, just relax. And if you've got some space around you, just gently move the body. Okay? And you're welcome just to sit and watch the choir. And we're just going to roll the shoulders back. Just roll them. And then roll forward. And now if you just put your hands by your side, clench your fists, and just put you up to your ears. And one of the things about singing is you have to remember to breathe. So if you breathe in, count to 4. That's probably about 4 by now. And then just relax. And we'll do that one more time. Clench your fists, up to your ears. And if anything hurts, don't do it. Breathe in and relax. What's the next bit? Oh, yes. Arms in the air. Clasp your hands together. And don't go up on your toes or anything like that, but just ease up. We're just trying to open the chest muscles up, so we're breathing. And I always say, bend to your left, and then bend to the other left. And straighten up again. Breathe in, stretch, and relax. So, what we're trying to do is we're trying to relax the muscles, because when you're singing, you want chest to be open. So shoulders back, and we're breathing into the stomach. So breathing into here, into this part of the body. So just try that, just breathing in, keeping your shoulders relaxed, and breathe out. And what we're going to do in a second as well, we'll just relax all the muscles around the face, because to sing, you've got this cavity in here, which is where the sound comes from. So if you just tap on your head, believe you me, there is some scientific background to this. I've no idea what it is, but it's fun anyway. Onto your forehead and your eyebrows, down the side of the face, across your chin. And then here, just on the side, you've got the pivot point where your jaw pivots. So just feel it and just open your jaw up and down. And then the bit everybody loves is we're going to stick our tongues out to the left, to the right, up, down, and put it back in again. Now I have to tell you that because when I'm doing it, you won't understand a word I say. So you ready? Out. And in. And I always have to wipe my mouth after that. And then, as if you're chewing a toffee, just try and... So what we're trying to do here is all the muscles that are involved in singing, we're trying to just relax them and exercise them, get them ready. So now we'll just do some breathing. So you take a breath in, and then just breathe out. And remember, we're trying to keep the shoulders back. So you can actually, you can always put your hands behind your back, trying to keep the shoulders back, chest open. Breathe in, and then when you breathe out, just go, whoa. Say it like you mean it. Ah. Should we do the counting exercise, do you reckon? Do you reckon we're up to it? So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Okay? 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mathematicians, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From the top, 8, 8, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 7, 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you should all now be warmed up. So we sang something called Banahar, and we've got some song sheets. So if we can just hand round the song sheets for Banahar to everybody. And while that's been handed round, just concentrate on your breathing, because singing is all about breathing. Yeah? We'll get some for you, don't worry.
Take a handful, press them up.
Sarah?
And could I have a copy as well, please?
Do you just want Banahar now? Or we'll get the other one afterwards?
Yeah, we'll give the other one in a minute, yeah. Oh, thank you very much. See. Okay, now this can be sung as a round, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to do this maybe a couple of times through. And this is a Congolese folk song, and the translation of the word means something about banana in a cocked hat or aunt's hat or something, but we won't worry about that. We'll just sing it. Yeah? So it goes. Si do la da, yakusini la du banaha. Si do la da, yakusini la du banaha. Banaha, yakusini la du banaha. Banaha, yakusini la du banaha.
Si do la da, yakusine la du banaha. Si do la da, yakusine la du banaha.
Sorry? What's the meaning? The meaning, it's something about a banana into an aunt's hat, but we'll have to ask somebody from the Congo to explain. So we've got another song we'd like to try, and it's Sway, which is, I think it's Dean Martin, and you all know the song, the words to Sway, but actually this morning before breakfast I got up and I wrote some new words. And so if we can hand them round. So you probably know this song. It's when marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway. So that's the tune. And on the other side, we've got the OU study song. So this is a premiere of the OU study song. I'm going to give it a try. Sorry? No, we're doing the new one. The OU one. Don't worry, we've got some more words coming around. Now the thing about this is, of course, you've never seen these words before, so it's going to be fun. Yeah? And I sang it in the bath this morning, and it seems to work, but we'll find out when we actually see it. My music player is switched off while we Yes? So we're turning to the OU study song on the back of Sway by Dean Martin. We're doing it to that tune.
Learn with me,
Melanie obviously is waiting, so rather than have you wait for them, you turn over the other side, you've got the original words. We'll ask them to put the music up just slightly louder. I'll replay that and you can sing it as you process to them. Thank you, conference, for giving me this opportunity.